is clear.
Yes.
We just want to know.
We'll pick the question.
Thank you.
Definitely. We'll pick the question. The singing is what is out of order. Simon, can you answer the questions? It is fate. One person will always survive. Noah survived the floods to tell the story.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. You can say it again. Chair, where I come from, in the times of war, when you strike and hit a place, you don't kill everybody. You let one survive. But when that one who survives comes, you don't show it to the public, you hide. So I'm hiding here, Chair. I would request the member not to ask the question because I'm still hiding. But notwithstanding that response, Chair, I would like to start by answering the Honorable Naisula Lesuda. Chair, the Ministry of Cooperatives and MSME is a very important ministry, and I clearly understand the enormity of the task ahead. Chair, we have 15 million Kenyans in this sector, toiling and working for this country. This 15 million, as I said, is 50% of the adult population of Kenya. So the importance, I really truly appreciate, and I acknowledge the member has also recognized that. During COVID, almost the entire SME sector collapsed because they work for a day. And when the health measures, mitigation measures were instituted in this country, they suffered a lot. Chair, this is a response. The Hustler Fund is a response to the challenges that we went through 2 years ago to restore back the small and micro, small and medium enterprises and re-establish their businesses. The MSME has been recognized in all the policy documents. The Economic Recovery Strategy Program, ERS, the Structural Adjustment Program, which was there in the 90s, and also the Vision 2030, and finally the plan by the Kenya Kwanza administration. The importance has been underlined in all other studies, economic studies, and it is our desire that MSMEs can be brought back. And their intervention ranges from as small as 3,000 to 20,000. I asked one circle when I was preparing for this interview, Chair, how much they're spending on hustlers. One circle, which is running a portfolio, to be specific, Boresha Circle, which has branches, 25 branches in Baringo, one in Nakuru, one in Eldoret, one in Laikipia. Their loan book is 9 billion. 70% of that is SMEs, with borrowings not exceeding 20,000. And they turn around this 20,000 on a daily basis and create and make a living out of it. It is my desire and wish that with this intervention, we'll be able to re-establish back businesses of small and micro enterprises in this country. And we'll be able to create jobs, decent jobs, and graduate them from micro to small to medium size, and eventually offload them to the market, and they can go to financial institutions. On the issue on the housing or the placement of MSME in various ministries, trade, agriculture, and MSME ministry, I think, Chair, for the first time, the micro, small, and medium have been placed in one house to coordinate and to design, to come up with policy programs and link up with others, but will be housed in one place. It's the first time we are upgrading this to a full ministerial position. It's the highest recognition it has ever had in our country. So I believe with this recognition, we will have a full department with a principal secretary and accounting officer who will focus, we will focus under my leadership on bringing up the small and micro. On the issue of markets, I had raised by Honorable Kikaria, the intervention of the Hustler Fund will lead to production. We'll have farmers in Githunguri looking for one additional cow. We'll have fishermen in the lake buying new boats and harvesting more fish. They will need coolers. They will need markets for this produce. And it is our intention as a ministry, after all is said and done, we'll then need to focus, working together with the Ministry of Trade, to look for markets, both local and external, because that will be the immediate challenge we will be facing after production has been addressed. There will be oversupply of milk, there will be oversupply of horticultural produce, fish, and all these perishable commodities. And with that, we'll then need to come up with cold chain facilities, and also markets. We'll build markets where we need to, especially decent and areas that can be able to house those who are involved in this trade. The Honorable Mule, thank you very much, Honorable, on your observations. The Hustler Fund is the most discussed agenda in the country because it touches half of our population. This Hustler Fund, to demonstrate, I don't know in which the chair doesn't want me to use English, but you'll allow me, Chair, that is the language of communication for this for purposes. Chair, the Hustler Fund will be established through a PFM Act, which may not be understood by the common Kenyan, and later by establishment of that fund will be preceded by a policy statement, operational guidelines, and eventually house it under PFM Act or a standalone fund or housed in another fund. Thereafter, we will register hustlers. They will volunteer the information. There will be a form that they will fill. A boda fellow, mama mboga lady, or any Kenyan who feels he would require these funds will apply on his phone, and we will have registration officers in the first maybe 3-4 months. We will facilitate the registration of hustlers. Thereafter, we will group them. Those who want to group themselves, we will assist them to group themselves, and we will train them, and thereafter now enable them, identify how to apply for this money. You can apply for this money without any reference to anybody, as long as you meet the criteria of application. So using your phone, having submitted your biodata, having submitted your request, you will be able to now apply for this money. The same way we do, for example, with other fintech borrowing. We can do the same, we will do the same, but now with a single-digit interest, not the 3,650% per year. We will then come back with the enabling environment. That is, we need to look for markets. We need to identify industries, the off-takers of this produce, the off-takers of these businesses. We will, through trade, assist them in feasibility studies. We'll have officers supporting these hustlers to get to do their business. But remember, these hustlers are already in business. Some of them are already trading. What they miss and lack is access to affordable credit. They are already involved they're waking up, they're in Marikiti by 4 a.m. in the morning. So what they need is a jump start to be boosted, to be facilitated with affordable credit. They have been toiling and working hard, but they only work for financial institutions. We now want to bring down the borrowing cost, access, and also support them beyond the borrowing and trading. On the matter of the question of gender mainstreaming, Chair, we are working with all the gender institutions, gender commissions, and all the Kenya Kwanza focus is to support the vulnerable members of our society, to support women. And in this program, the ASLA Fund, we already know that the biggest beneficiary will be women, because these are the people who are involved more than any other gender in small, medium trading. So there will be no discrimination. The whole intention, women don't have titles, they don't have securities, and they have been depending on their families to support them. This fund will eliminate the issue of securities and replace it with credit score. Any woman who borrows through this fund will grow and graduate, because we will not be focusing on securitization, we will be focusing on ability to pay and credit score. On the access to procurement, we will be the ministry in charge in mainstreaming procurement from government, from micro and small enterprises. We will be able to improve and increase the penetration of government and county governments by small and micro. We are working on a proposal to come up with development centers to mentor, to assist the small and micro. We will be working out, once we roll the fund, as the next focus to have these centers, so that business people, the small and micro, can have a place for consultancy. On the question by Honorable Shuria, the fund has also factored in the faith, the Islamic faith, our brothers from almost 10 counties and across the country. And we understand that Islam doesn't accept interest, riba, as a component in borrowing. We are going to come up with products that are acceptable to the Islamic faith, and this will, because our desire is to cover the entire country, notwithstanding religion, notwithstanding the gender, notwithstanding the geographical corners, and even political. Those who voted Kenya Kwanza and those who did not are all Kenyans. This is a fund for the Republic of Kenya. Chair, finally, on the issue of the girls in the Middle East, is a matter that has dodged several ministers in the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection. First, I will begin by saying migration is an important contributor to the country of origin, destination, and also it supports families from the source country. It creates employment, addresses social challenges at the home country, but also transfer services to the destination country. We have had benefits from migrant workers who have been our ambassadors of our country. However, we've also had challenges from some destinations. When I took office in the Ministry of Labor, we had challenges with about 7 countries. Now we've reduced it to 1 destination. We've signed bilateral labor agreements with these countries. We've renegotiated engagements. We've looked at the issue of welfare, protection of these workers, withdrawal of travel documents. The kafala system has been waived by several of these countries. Now we are left with 1 country. However, even the country that we are having still challenges, we have had engagements, and I can see improvement. I've seen support from this house. This budget, this year, we got 70 million shillings to build a safe home, so that Kenyans who are in distress can have a place to stay as they wait to come back home. The embassies have been strengthened. We have deployed labor officers to assist the ambassadors in handling some of the distress cases. Parliament has visited, Senate has visited, and the ministry officials have also visited. We've improved the engagements. We still have challenges. Kenyans have lost lives. This year alone, we've lost 62 Kenyans, and for various reasons that have been given. It's my wish that my predecessor will now have a one-on-one engagement with the government in discussion, and be able to itemize one by one the causes and how to deal with. I also want to report, Chair, that the countries that we have had issues have also moved towards a mutual understanding. They now have a toll-free complaint phone number. They have a police unit dedicated to these house workers and helps who can report any distress. And also,
Honorable Chair, point of intervention.
Yes.